Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be when the narcissist begins devaluing. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So, when you were in the relationship, everything appeared to be unicorns and puppies and rainbows and Snickers, but as soon as the narcissist sank their dirty fangs into you, it was now entered devaluation stage. For those of you who don't know what devaluing is, it's when you don't appreciate the value of something. In this case, what the narcissist does is they devalue people. They devalue people's mindset, their hopes, their accomplishments, their goals, the clothes they wear, the way they're talked to, the way they are ignored, and the way they are left holding the bag. The devaluation stage is the second stage and the longest part in the narcissistic abusive cycle. The first part, as I just mentioned, it's the love bomb / euphoric stage. Enter devaluation stage once the narcissist knows they have their claws sunken into somebody. The third part's the ending, and the fourth part, at times, although not always, there is something called a hoover. A hoover doesn't mean the narcissist wants to get back in a relationship with you. It means they're trying to still live in your mind rent-free. Never accept a hoover. But when the narcissist begins devaluing, this is when they know they have you where they want you. It's when they know you are already committed in that relationship. It's when they know you're going nowhere. And it's when they're continuing to test the temperature of you, continuing to push your buttons, continuing to see how much more you will tolerate of their poor behavior. Examples of the devaluation include this, but are not limited to this. Example, let's say when you were in that relationship with the narcissist. Again, you didn't know they were one. You didn't know it existed, that narcissism existed, but let's say that you would be walking arm in arm or hand in hand, and you would be walking down the street or the town or the village, and you would have your arms around each other and everything. Well, that felt good, didn't it? Of course it did. Was it sustainable? No, it wasn't. Did you know that? No, you didn't. So as you were expecting to hold hands with the narcissist or put your arm around them or have them put their arm around you or your waist, whatever it was, and be together, they began to pull back. Next thing you know, you went on those walks fewer and fewer times, in other words, less frequently. And the less frequent you went on those walks, the less opportunity there was for the narcissist, let's say, to put their arm around you or hold your hand. The less often you went on those walks, the more you begin to question yourself, wondering whatever happened. We used to spend so much time walking and going to the store and grabbing an ice cream cone or getting a favorite dish of food or something. We were together. Well, you were together until when? That's right, until you weren't. This is all by design at the hands of the narcissist. So the devaluation here, it begins when you start going on those walks less and less frequently. And then, of course, it escalates to this. Now the narcissist isn't holding your hand. Now, are they not only not holding your hand, but now they're walking 10, 20, 30 feet in front of you. It's almost as if they can't get to the destination fast enough to check the box to say that they did go on the walk with you, when in fact, they weren't with you. They were on the same walk, but they were in front of you. They were alone. They were apart from you, and they were devaluing you. That is one example, and yes, a real-life example. Other examples of devaluing would be this. The famous phone calls or the texts in the morning. Remember, in the early days of that relationship, the budding, the love bomb / euphoric days, you would get wake-up calls or cute emojis or the dancing people. Remember, like the disco dancing, the man and the female or whatever it was. And then the heart emojis and I love you and I miss you and I'm thinking of you and I can't wait to be with you. They were lathering you up every single morning. And then what would they do throughout the day? This is the early days. Again, they would lather you up, let's say around 10:30, 11 o'clock in the morning. Oh, I just ran to the store. I'm going to pick up your favorite dish tonight. We're going to cook it. It's going to be so fantastic. Are you excited? And you, because you were a professional in the workforce, you were putting your phone down quicker than you ever thought possible to get back and tell them, yes, I'm looking forward to it. I'm so excited. I can't wait to get out of work even though I own the business. I can't wait to be with you. And you're going to make my favorite dish. This is going to be so exciting. Well, then what happens? Now lunch comes and goes, and probably you were on the phone with them for 49 out of your 50-minute lunch break, and that all they were doing was stringing you along and lathering you up and getting you caught up on the hook and getting you caught up in the fantasy of the bogus relationship, i.e. the narcissistic relationship. And then after work, you went home. And guess what? The narcissist was right there with bells on. Maybe you gave them a key to your house. Maybe you had already moved in by now. Maybe you left the key underneath the mat or in the mailbox or something, but you gave them access. And they were there cooking. And you were so excited. Oh my gosh, this is like we're playing homemakers. This is amazing. Imagine if we get married. Well, what happens? The dish is incredible. After the food is consumed and they're actually asking you how your day was because they're learning all about you. Remember, there's a master plan at work here. They're learning all about you. Then maybe you go in the bedroom, have some intimacy. Maybe you sit on the couch and you snuggle and you're thinking to yourself, this gets better and better. I can't believe this. This person is doing everything that I want them to do and they're doing it and they're actually with me. This is amazing. Well, then sure enough, what happens? Over time, the narcissist moves in with you. These are examples. And then sure enough, in the morning, there's no reason for the text because now you're living together and that goes away. And now what do? You're texting them at when you get to work saying, hey, I'm here thinking about you. Hope you're doing well. And they read the texts and now they're putting on their exercise clothes or their biking clothes because they're going to go for a 50-kilometer bike ride. They look at your text, they give you nothing. And now you're scratching your head saying, wait, what happened? We were connecting so well, everything was going great. Then you moved in and now you're reading my text, but you're not responding. See, you're being devalued right there. But you didn't know it because you weren't taught this in school. So the morning goes by and you text them again a little before lunch hour and you say, hey, I know you're busy. I don't want to disturb you, but I just want to let you know that I love you and I'm thinking about you. And then what do? They read the text and then they give you one letter, which is the letter K. Or maybe they give you a question mark. Or maybe they give you a different weird emoji with like scratching your head or something. And you're saying, I don't get this. What happened to the person who couldn't get enough of me? Well, you're being devalued again. You didn't know it. Now you get home from work and where is the narcissist? Again, you don't know they're a narcissist. Well, now you look and there's dishes everywhere, pots and pans. There's no sweeping that was done. The laundry isn't done. The dog hasn't been taken out. You look in the fridge and the pantry and there's basically no food because you haven't gone shopping and they're not going shopping anytime soon. And they're nowhere to be found. Now it's about 6:15 at night and they roll in and they're laughing it up and they look like $1 million and they just look like they had the best day. And you just came home from work an hour and 15, 20 minutes ago and you're saying, hey, where were you? What's going on? How come you didn't text me? I don't get this. And they say, what's the big deal? I was at the gym all day, or I went for a bike ride with my new crew, or I was doing hot yoga, or I was doing something else. What's your problem? What's the big deal? You don't own me. And now you're saying, well, what happened to the fancy dinners and what happened to you being here and what happened to us being a team and a partnership and everything? And they're saying, you don't own me. I don't get it. What's the problem? You're so needy. And I read your text. I didn't think that they deserved to be responded to because I was too busy. So what's the problem? Don't you have work to do? Don't you have a job? Don't you have to earn money? I don't get this. You should be grateful that I'm here living with you. And now they just twisted the knife in deeper and deeper. Now you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. But again, you don't know what narcissism is. So now you're saying to yourself, do I say something or do I not? And because you're new to this whole circus, you don't say anything. And then that gets worse and worse and worse. Next thing you know, I'm really fast forwarding here. Next thing you know, your health is taking a hit. Your finances are going to zero. You're losing your capacity at work. You're so broken down and beaten down. You're not even texting them the way you used to. They are looking like $1 million. They have all of the fancy clothes that you've been buying for them. You've already gone through all the vacations and the barbecues and the fancy restaurants and everything else that they want. And now you are saying to yourself, I don't get this. How is this person looking so good and I can't even get out of bed sometimes? And how come we're not even talking anymore? It's almost as if we went from romance to roommates because you did and you didn't even realize it. But what you didn't also realize is when you're at work all day, they're out with your replacement. See, you're being devalued and they're going to leapfrog from you to that new person or new people. The one person can never satiate the narcissist. But again, you didn't know any of this. So those are two examples of being devalued. Here's another one, very simple one, but although it's going to sting. Your money. What does the narcissist love more than money? They love your money more than money. Now, the narcissist may have had money. They may have had a boatload of money. Maybe they had a little bit of money. Maybe they were just getting their divorce settlement from the previous 3 spouses and it was coming in slowly, but you never knew about it because they claim like they didn't have any money. Maybe they owned 15 gold bars and they owned all the crypto in the world, and they own beach homes all around the world, but they acted like they had nothing. I can't tell you, but the point is they wanted to burn through your money, and they wanted to make you destitute. And you may say, well, not really. Well, think about something. Who paid for most things in the narcissistic relationship? It was you, whether you know it or not. And whether it was financially or not, it was emotionally, spiritually, physically, in every way possible. But now I'm talking about finances. So what the narcissist will say is once you buy them things, and once you put a roof over their head or buy them a car, the fancy watch, or Amazon, whatever it is, then they will say things like this. I didn't ask you to do that. You didn't have to do that. I didn't tell you to do that. It was your money. You can make any decision you want to. And then you would be scratching your head saying, wait, you told me that you really wanted that, and if I didn't get it, that you would find a different way to get it, or that you had been so good that you deserved it, or whatever bill of goods they sold you. So you, because you were trying to maintain an unsustainable relationship, essentially trying to put a Band-Aid over all the huge cuts that the narcissist was inflicting upon you in that relationship, you would buy them things because that's what you did. And next thing you know, you are destitute. You have no money. You're now perhaps $18,000 in credit card debt, guilty here, and you have nothing. You don't have two nickels to rub together, and you wondered where it all went. Where did the house that you owned go? Where did the savings that you had go? Where did all the bonuses and the pay raises go to? Where did all of your inheritance or your 401k and everything else go to? I'll tell you exactly where it went. It went to a toxic person who will never, ever be satiated. Their cup will never be filled. You could have had all the money in the world. It still wouldn't be enough. It wasn't enough for me, and it won't be enough for the new supply. That's another way you will be devalued. How about another one? You're at a restaurant, and I've used this one hundreds of times over the years. You're at a restaurant, and you're with the narcissist, but you don't know they're a narcissist, and they are flirting with the wait staff, no matter who it is. They're batting their eyelashes. They are getting a little too close. They're acting like they can't read the menu, or they're flirting a little bit, or they're talking to them a little too strangely, if you will, almost as if they know each other. And it makes you wonder, do they know each other? Did they know each other? Was that a former source of supply? You will never know. I will never know. What we will know is when you weren't with the narcissist, you will never know where they were, who they were with, or what they were doing. And the fact I'm even saying this in real time is absolutely amazing, because the more I think about it, think about the restaurants you went to, because this is what I'm doing right now as I'm creating this video. Some of the restaurants you went to, you probably only went to once. Why do you think you did that? Why do you think the narcissist was so close with some of the wait staff, or some of the owners, or some of the bartenders, or the maitre d', etc.? It's because they had been there before, and they knew the song and dance, and they knew that you didn't know, so they were stringing you along. And there's a beautiful hawk up there somewhere. They were stringing you along, getting supply from the restaurant, from you paying the bill, from you not knowing, and from them triangulating you right in front of whomever it was. Yes, these are real examples. Yes, they probably happened to you without you even knowing it, because how could you know what triangulation was? How could you know what devaluing was? How could you know what narcissism was? And how could you know that you would be punished for being you? You didn't, you couldn't, but now you're understanding so much more. Now, having said these things, I'm going to say one or two more examples and I'll close the video. When the narcissist begins devaluing, it means that relationship is over. You may not like the fact that I said that, but that's exactly what it means. The relationship essentially was over the minute you met the narcissist. You just didn't know it. I didn't either. But once the narcissist knows that somebody is interested in them and they can take something from that person, they will do whatever they want to if that person provides utility or provides money or time or access or something. They will take whatever they can from that person for a period of time. Then, of course, they will crumble them up like a sheet of paper. They will throw them away in the freeway, and they will not look twice or think twice about it, because they already have other sources of supply lined up. And that's what devaluing is. Devaluing is when the narcissist knows that you're going nowhere, you're committed, you're going to tolerate their poor behavior. They now have a human punching bag, a human piñata. They have a sounding board. They have someone to regulate them, someone to be the cook, the cleaner, the unpaid helper, the walking apology, the walking ATM, and to say, thank you, sir, thank you, ma'am, may I have another? And you're hoping, or you were hoping, I should say, that tomorrow will be a better day. And every once out of 10, 20, 50, 100 days, tomorrow is a better day for a day. And then you go right backwards again to being devalued. This is why the cycle just continues to go around and around and around in a loop. The cycle will never stop. The key here is removing yourself from the cycle, not participating in the toxicity, not having any avenues of communication open with the parasite and not giving them any access to you, your relationships, your money, your time, your energy, your empathy, your love, or anything at all. That's why you must go no contact, block that person, delete them, remove them, and all flying monkeys and people associated with them. If not now, when? You can't do it now, I understand. Get ready to develop, create, and execute your exit plan, but get away from these people as far and as fast as you possibly can, because once you understand that you're in a toxic relationship, maybe even a narcissistic relationship, being in that 1 minute longer than you need to is 1 minute too long. Back then you didn't know what you were up against, now you do. And now you have boundaries, now you're maintaining your boundaries. Now you are elevating and ascending, and you've gone no contact, and you're a different person, or you're about to become a different person. The narcissist will always stay in that low vibrational quagmire state. They can never change anything other than the mask that they wear and other than the past that they rewrite over and over and over again to lure new unsuspecting people or recycled people back into the web of manipulation. Again, that's where you were, that's where I was. I'm out, and I will never, and I repeat, never tolerate poor behavior, toxicity, or anything even close to the whiff or the hint of narcissism again in my entire life. You shouldn't either. So you should not, and I repeat, not tempt fate. You should go no contact, block that person or those people, and begin to heal and heal properly. The devaluation stage is the longest part of the relationship, as I shared earlier in the video. That's where most of the abuse takes place. It's where most of the punishment takes place, and it's when you're being tested day in and day out, 24/7, including when you're sleeping, because many times you're sleep deprived, or you're having dreams that you can't believe, or the narcissist, you roll over in the middle of the night and you look out of one eye and there's the narcissist laughing it up on one of their 3 smartphones, their tablet, their laptop, or some other device, because they're getting supply from other sources all over the planet while you're sleeping. This is what these people do. They don't change, and they know it. So stop tolerating poor behavior, get off the radar of these people, heal and heal properly. So everyone, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning. No matter where you are on the planet, you are not alone. I love you all. God bless you. I love you all. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. Understand a few things before I close the video. 1, devaluation is something that no human being should ever go through. Number 2, you didn't know what it was, so you're excused. Number 3, now you do know what it is, so you shouldn't tolerate it or allow people that will devalue you or those loved and trusted ones around you access to you. You need to put up a firm boundary. And if that includes your immediate family members, so be it. If it includes your bestie of 50 years, so be it. If it includes your adult children who perhaps are toxic themselves or don't know how to treat you, same thing. By no means am I saying that everyone is the narcissist, anything but. I'm beginning to use the word less and less. I'm referring to toxic people, no matter what their mental capacity is or isn't. Toxicity should not be tolerated by anybody, specifically once you've been in the eye of the hurricane, in the eye of the storm, in the eye of the narcissistic fog, and made it out and healed. I love you all. God bless you, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Bye.